Welcome back, adventurers. I'm your host and Dungeon Master Kyle, and I'm thrilled to have you join us for another amazing episode. After the dramatic events in Ank'Harel, our heroes are facing new challenges and unexpected twists. But first, a recap of the previous session brought to us this time by Parrish.
Every city has a pulse, its own heartbeat and breath. In this respect, Ank'Harel is no different to any other city in Marquette. But to stop at that comparison would be miss my deeper point. While most, if not all, mortals possess a heart, the depth and subject of the love the heart holds and the purpose that drive them may very, very rarely find a twin. As it seems to be with Ank'Harel, its heartbeat is its own, and I think one of juxtaposition, an oasis in the desert, cool rivers and warm sands, and the cavernous disparity between the high arches of the Cerulean Palace and the slums of the sun-cut bazaar we walk through. Somehow the name, the Jewel of Hope, I find fitting. On the subject, I was quite surprised that Talus allowed anyone to examine her Jewel of Three Prayers, and I was glad to hear how the party came across that jewel, though equally surprised as our host that confirmed it to be a true vestige of divergence. Our first hours in the city were slow. It's good to be slow when first getting to know a city, I find. It lets you take a more careful measure. One, I'm certain we will be glad to have, given the penalties for theft we saw doled out in the streets. We briefly attended Prolix's manor with him, as he gave us an overview of the city. Though it seems as though he does not spend a lot of time in the city, and even when he is here, he does not spend time in the true city, protected by money, status, and wealth, as well as a quite cute Tressum who we fed while he was away. Ortega and Lady Tatiana stopped off to a few stores while Ari and I shopped for new clothes in the local styles, while Talus busied herself watching people, those losing their purses to the pickpockets tax on the non-locals. I'm interested to see how the city's rulers justify the punishments for some thieves and not others. I'm interested to see how the city justifies the inequality that breeds it. All cities have a pulse, and before we set off on our task to ingratiate ourselves with one of the local groups, we decided to stop off at the Lux Run Casino, a place where I could feel that pulse could be felt more strongly so far as we've gotten in the city here. All was going well until a guard approached Ari after he sang sweet nothings to a beautiful lizard. I suspect it may have been fine, if not for him having put a fair bit of money on Little Miss Crispy just beforehand.
With Ari in a precarious situation at the casino and the rest of the banded brokens scattered throughout the city, the stakes have never been higher. What fate awaits our daring adventurers as they navigate the bustling streets and shadowy corners of the Jewel of Marquette. Before we dive in, huge shout out to Dragonheart Dice again for their fantastic support, and keep an ear out for that code word again. Now let's see what Destiny has in store for our brave heroes. So, we last left with the party split, and Tatiana and Ortega had left the casino to go take a look at the local pet store, Moggie's and Mongrels, while the other three decided to stay back and enjoy the sights and sounds of the casino. As soon as Ari had blessed Lil Miss Crispy and it won the race, and the bell dings and the money starts pouring out, he is approached by the casino guard. Now, before we get to that, I do want to say we have to retcon a little bit about what happened after you guys left the Betrayer's Rise. If you recall, you had all made a bet with the guard's life savings. You each walked out of that bet with 1,000 gold pieces each.
Oh, damn.
Are you serious? That's so funny.
Now I just feel bad. He's probably got a family. He's got kids going to fucking wizard college.
It was multiple people. They'd pulled it together. But,
I mean, not anymore. Those kids aren't going to school anymore.
That was 5,000 gold pieces that they had saved up. They have nothing to spend it on. They had nothing to spend it on whatsoever. They were basically just spending it to get drunk at the ready room, and that's all they were doing. So make sure you update your character sheets accordingly. You guys do each have 1,000 gold pieces. So just add that and we'll call it a day.
To adopt the cutest animal ever. Just to warn you.
So, Tatiana and Ortega. You had headed off towards the very adorable. I lost the page. Whoops. Pet store known as Moggies and Mongrels. As you head on through the town, you see that it is nestled among a multitude of shop entrances and market stalls, creating a vibrant, bustling scene typical of the city's lively commerce. The shop itself is modest, with a simple arched doorway framed by enchanted lanterns that emit a soft, inviting glow. The wooden sign above the entrance, painted with Moggies and Mongrels in a flowing magical script, is adorned with subtle, shimmering runes that hint at the wonders within. Despite its unassuming exterior, the shop's door, inscribed with intricate arcane patterns, has a chime, and as you enter the interior, you hear a baby dragon's roar when you enter. Inside, the emporium transforms into a labyrinth of wooden shelves and glass cases filled with magical pets and enchanted creatures. Floating orbs light the space, and enchanted tapestries decorate the walls. The air is alive with the sounds and scents of magical beings, with dedicated sections for various types of creatures. And you see the gnome proprietor, Moggie, an ever-present kind with stories to share and words to be had. And you see on the desk in front where his register is, you see a large logo that he's crafted himself. You see who you assume is Moggie holding a glowing staff, surrounded by a tiny dragon, a spectral winged cat, a miniature phoenix, and the name Moggies and Mongrels arched above in the script, similar to the storefront, and encircled by a vine-like border with enchanted flowers and leaves. And you notice that the vibrant colors reflect the shop's mystical nature. And you hear the dragon's roar when you walk in. Hello, 1 minute, please. And you see from out behind the gnome person with a little name tag that says Moggie on it. And he walks up the desk and he looks at you and he goes, "Oh, hello. What is it that I can accompany with you with for this evening?"
I believe a furry friend may have been trying to get me to come here.
Lots of furry friends. I've got them all. Which one?
This one goes by Mr. Kelthios.
Kelthios. Oh, yes, Kelthios. The Yusufs. Yes, of course. Is he short on supplies?
No, I don't know about that. He's got a closet full. But I did promise him a treat.
Oh, very, very good. He does have a certain kind that he likes. Fish, I remember. It's been a while since Prolix has been in, but of course, if you want to purchase a treat for Kelthios, be my guest. Is there anything else you wish to acquire? Any furry friend of your own you'd be wishing to take home with you today?
I'm gonna look at Ortega. I want something. We're not leaving without something.
What do you want?
Before you make your decision, I will have you know, very recently, we have been toying with this interesting, well, it's hard to say exactly what it is. However, it is a magic orb, and inside the orb are little tiny other orbs. Well, he just shows you, and he points over to this basically gumball machine is what it is. And you see that there's like a crank that's been fashioned, and inside is like, I don't want to use the word Pokeballs, but they're not. It's capsules, and inside the capsule is like some piece of parchment with some enchantment or wording inside of it that has unknown creatures inside. And he goes, so interestingly enough, I do have all of the regular creatures and everything you might be looking for. Tressums like Caltheos, we do have, but they are expensive, and you have to be able to prove to me that you are able to maintain and to tame such magical beasts. However, if you so choose, because I do not have say over exactly what you might crank out, the price of the rolling ball orb machine is only a fraction of the price of some other things that we may have here.
I want something that can catch its own food. Is that like a across the board kind of quality I can expect?
Oh, well,
I like to catch my own food.
Of course. You know, if you're looking at things that can catch their own food, you probably don't want, like, your typical familiars. But there are a few here and there littered around. Pseudo-dragons, imps, quasites, stuff like that that are able to do it. You have dogs and other things, but you're primarily going to be looking at the magical beasts that we have to offer.
And so if I go with the orbs within the orb, I'm guaranteed a magic beast for a fraction of the price, but it could be ugly as a troll.
It could be anything, really. There's been very weird things to come out of it. Some not even beasts at all. I mean, at one point there was someone had come in and he rolled the orb and a tumor grew. And that tumor grew a mouth and hair and had its own brain, excellent memory, little intelligence. But
you're not selling this very well.
I am just saying, another one came in here and they got a dragon. It's just like, you really don't know what you're gonna get.
Look up at Ortega. Thoughts? Input? Do you care? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We do have a poll in the chat while Niall's loading back up.
Really? Thoughts? What are your thoughts? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Hello?
I might have missed more than just your thoughts. I could hear Connell. I couldn't hear anything that you said. Or was that it?
I looked up at you. What are your thoughts on, do I go for mystery mammal or...
I think you're better off getting something you know a bit more about than something you know nothing about.
All right, let's talk pricing. If I want a dragon, what am I looking at?
A pseudo dragon or a real dragon?
Oh, well, I only have 2 dragons. I have the fairy dragons, which they don't get much larger than, my hands are smaller than yours. They don't get much, and he sticks his hands out like a little bit just to show like comparison to size. They're about this size, and you guys can judge that the fairy dragons probably get to be about maybe like 2 feet, enough to like fit in your hands. And then we also have pseudo dragons, which are very tiny little things. In terms of prices, both of those dragons are well over the cost of the orb-based creatures.
You're still not telling me a price.
Well, the fairy dragon is close to 500 gold pieces, and the pseudo dragon, last I checked, was 300 gold pieces.
Now, what nifty tricks do they have in their ability sets?
Well, that would be the fire dragon. They're good with illusions. I've been told. I haven't really used them personally myself. And the pseudo dragons, I've been told that they have a stinger and both can fly, which are great. And they probably both would be able to catch their own food. But being dragons of sorts, the food might be a little different. But I could probably come up with something that would make it something that they would like. It's at this point you guys hear a crash in the back. You're like this. You hear like. And as you turn and look your heads towards where Moggie had come from, you see a yellow and white Aormaton stumbling through, yelling, "Hello, it is so nice to see you again, Tatiana," as Toast comes back bustling out with an apron on as a staff member for Moggies and Mongrels.
Welcome. Is that Tatiana I hear? Hello?
Did not expect to see you here.
I have been doing many travels. It has been a long journey. This is my new home. I help Moggie with the high shelf. She is quite small. What can I do? What can I do to help you?
Moggie speaks up. "Oh, you guys are acquainted with each other. This is he's my newest staff member, and he's been very helpful with creating this gumball orb machine."
Oh, yes. It is quite interesting. If it has many creatures inside, and if you would like one, I believe that it is, if I am not mistaken, Moggie, we are allowing to sell some of these a roll on the gumball machine for 200 gold pieces. Is that correct?
Yes. As you can see, the price to get a mystery mongrel is less than the price of a fairy dragon.
And you can see that they come, the gumballs, as you would say, come in many different colors. And there are quite a few very interesting beasties in here.
However, I do like to know what I'm getting myself into versus walking out with a tumor.
Well,
it's really hard to say. I will give you this. I will allow this. If you decide that you do not like what you get, I will allow up to 3 rerolls at 50 gold pieces a reroll. Still less than the price.
Oh.
Still less than the price of a pseudo dragon, but you get a chance up to 3.
Hey Kyle, are fairy dragons fey?
Fairy dragons, yeah, they are fey.
So would Ortega know what they can do?
Actually, you take that work. You take that gumball machine. You look in the chat.
I mean, yeah, you would definitely know. You would definitely know what they can do and their colors, and you've seen them all over the place. They're, I mean, in the Fae, like pseudo dragons and fairy dragons are like birds. Like they're pretty common. Okay. Here they only have one. Moggie only has one fairy dragon, and he's got a couple pseudo dragons. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah. What color is the fairy dragon?
I was just about to ask.
What color is the fairy dragon? Yep. It is a pinkish, like a light pink with very subtle purple shimmery undertones. It's got some blues. And the blue is almost like astral themed a little bit.
More like the iridescent sort of.
Yeah, iridescent. Yeah. You do notice that like fairy dragons, they don't look like your traditional dragon. So they don't have like the arms, more so just so that you guys are aware. They look like butterflies. Here it is. So they're very
excellent. Now, can you go over to what it does?
No.
But I'm supposed to know what it does.
You can know what it does.
Maybe he can roll for it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, you would know that it has some innate spellcasting, but you wouldn't know exactly what it can do. So if you wanted to take this,
would I know like if it goes invisible or not, or like is it a tricksy type of thing, or is it more like?
You would know that it is very. It's called a fairy dragon for a reason, in the sense that it is a very tricksy. they like to mess with you. Like, you do know that it does have some illusionary stuff. You have seen them in the past do a couple things with like hallucinations and stuff like that. But in terms of like knowing anything really more about it, and he would require you to make some checks in order to see if you guys are even efficient enough at taking this guy home.
How about we get that one?
I do like its coloring. So what would qualify us as efficient caretakers?
I'm from the Feywild. I'm pretty sure I'm proficient.
Well, first, it would be just like a standardized test, so that you know that if there is spells to be had. I basically, it's me covering my ass so that you don't say, "Oh my gosh, this thing just killed me. How am I going to? I want my money back. I want to get rid of it." It's more so a test. Like, you are saying that, like, yes, that we agree and we know that it can do X, Y, Z, and then the next thing I would have you do is a small little seminar to show me how you can train your dragon.
I agree. Covering your rear is usually effective. Also, I have been permitted by Moggie with the gumball machine. I have some pet accessories that you can get one of your choice for free with a roll on the mystery Mongol gumball machine. Ta-da!
It's entirely up to you. Either way, it seems like you want to go home with something, and
Sorry, it's a bird.
I do want the dragon. She looks feisty.
if you
If you say deem us irresponsible and not able to take care of the dragon, can I then do the gumball machine?
well, I'm not going to take your money if I deem you irresponsible. It's my guarantee. I'm not going to be like that. But that's the catch-22. If you do the roll, you don't get the refund. Yeah.
So no matter what, I pay $500 whether or not I qualify for the dragon. Or no, you're talking about the gumball machine. If I roll, I lose $200.
If you roll, that every time you roll is money. But if you do not pass the, I call it the arcane efficiency exam.
So if I don't pass, then I can do the roll.
Of course.
And you have no say.
If you pass, you can do the roll.
Well, I vote we go for the dragon. And then, like I said, if you deem us irresponsible and unfit to be caretakers for it, we roll for the mystery gumball machine.
How much to bypass the test?
Legally, unfortunately, I am bound to the test.
I believe that would be quite dangerous and is not within the realm of what I would be comfortable with my creation or with these pets in general. They need love and care.
I'll take your test.
Okay, perfect. Just give me one moment, and I'll be right back. If you want to catch up with my associate here, more than welcome to, and I will be back in just a jiffy with the test. And he walks off.
It has been quite some time. What have you all been up to?
Well, we've been through a lot. I died once.
That's not acceptable.
He was actually there.
Oh, my God.
I forgot.
Oh, that's right. So did I.
That was a bad memory. I may have put that in storage. Well, anyway, here's some cool stuff while Moggie is in the back. So on the gumball machine, I can give you one free accessory from my selection. However, if you are just purchasing a pet, they do come with some cost, but they aren't too expensive. One of them is a I like to call an empathic collar. It's a collar that goes on your pet, and it allows you to exchange emotions and feelings. So that is number one. And he pulls out of a compartment a collar, and it can be customized to what you wish it to look like. Second, I have these are fairly common, but mine's a little different. I like to call it the pocket lock. So it's a locket that you can put on a necklace or some other accessory that you may have, and it creates a little space with an environment matching to the pet that you choose to become the owner of in case of dangerous situations such as swimming underwater or lava or any other things that would not be so good. Also, there is, let me see if I can find it here. And he does a quick little look around to find what was the third one? Well, I can't seem to find the third one, but I'll move on to the fourth one for now. The fourth one is a depending on which what pet you like and what you want to put on it, is a little bow or an outfit, and it has the ability once a day it can essentially cast a charm-like spell that makes a humanoid more friendly towards you. Could help in social situations. Here it is. I have found the other one, and he finds another little pocket on his body where he pulls out this bag. Pretty normal bag, but he reaches inside of it and he pulls out a treat, and he reaches inside of it again and he pulls out a different one. So this is the endless treat bag. So depending on which pet you have, it will pull out some food that it eats to sustain itself. Now, I would just like to say some of these creatures in the gumball machine have very particular tastes, so this bag could specifically come in handy in that situation. But as it is a mystery mongrel gumball machine, I cannot give you any more spoilers. And he looks around and make sure Moggie's not there, and it's like that's all I can tell you. I can't tell you any more. But yeah, so if you're just getting a regular pet, the empathic collar would probably be, if Moggie thinks it is acceptable, probably around 30 gold for that, because that is a form of communication that you would not normally have with a pet. And the other three would probably be around 20. So pretty decent price if you ask me, in my professional pet store opinion. And then he pulls out a broom and he starts sweeping. If you need any help, just ask.
As Toast starts sweeping away and kind of like starts whistling a little tune to himself, Moggie comes back and you see he's got this piece of paper. It's like a standard legal size piece of paper, and he comes over to you and he hands one to you and one to Ortega, and he goes, okay, well, as you can see, the first question is your name, and in the mongrel in which you are wishing to acquire, please make sure you spell it properly, as that is the first part of the exam. And he hands it to you. Like a very enchanted looking pencil. It looks as though it's enchanted so you can't cheat. No spells can be cast on this exam. Now, the first thing you have to do is you have to both make an Arcana check, please.
17.
Okay. Ortega with his super high intelligence. What did he roll?
Sorry. My super hot. Sorry, I closed that by accident. The straight intelligence roll. 10.
Okay. As you guys are filling out this exam, it's asking you just like some basic questions, like what does this spell do? If this was cast on you, how would you circumnavigate this spell? If your pet did this, how would you go about this? All related to magical beasts specifically. The next part I need you guys to make is an animal handling check. Ortega, I will allow you to make this check with advantage because you are from the Fae and you are looking at the fairy dragon specifically. But Tatiana, you do not have advantage on this.
15.
11.
Okay. And so this is basically like a kind of like a written short form part of the test, short form answer, where it's like, how would you go about raising the animal? How would you what are some of the things that you can do to make your animal's liveliness better? Would you put your animal in dangerous situations, stuff like that? So I
didn't realize it was an Arcana check, Kyle. I just did a straight intelligence, so it would have been a 14 instead of 10.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, doesn't matter. As you he hands you back, or as you hand him in the exams, the pencil disappears, and he goes, "Okay, I'm just going to take a look at the scores." And you see he, pulls this, like very subtly, like a pen that non-existent just comes out of his ear, and he starts writing down and gives it a couple check marks and some X's, and then crosses some things out and hands them both back to you. And he said, "Well, congratulations. You have been approved for the rollable mystery machine. You needed a 70% to pass for the fairy dragon, and you guys had a 65%.
I'm gravely disappointed. I wanted the fairy dragon.
I am really sorry. I mean, if you are willing to come back after a week or so, you can retake the test. It's not an issue. You do your research and you figure things out. Of course, absolutely, I would allow you to retake the test, but after about a week's time. But if you want to go and spin the mystery monk machine, you can be my guest.
I will spin the mystery monk.
I hope you get something that you like, Tati. Here's 100 gold. I'll meet you outside.
Okay. So, Tatiana, you give him 200 gold, and he gives you a special coin with his logo on it, and he hands it to you, and you go over to the... One sec. What? Yeah. You go over to the machine and you see the machine start whirling and humming, and like the orbs inside start popping up like popcorn as one comes out at the flap. You open the flap and you open up, and I need you to make a D100 for me, please.
This is the best.
I love this so much.
And I will let Toast be the one to tell you what you've won.
I took 100 gold off my character sheet, Ashley, so just take 100 off yours.
Apparently I rolled a 16.
16. Okay.
Okay. So the gumball comes out, pops, and it comes out, and out pops a succubus the size of a halfling. Well, that is certainly an interesting one. Oh, well.
Is there anything more on brand for Lady Tatiana than a pet succubus?
A pet succubus?
No.
She's going to feel like she has too much competition.
I'm enough. Thank you. So I will give you, what was it, 50 to reroll?
50 for a reroll, and you get 3 rerolls.
All right, little one, back in you go. He pops it back in, and
31.
31. Now, this is an interesting one. This is called a house Tarrasque. It is a Tarrasque that is built for a house. Sort of like a house hippo, but a Tarrasque.
No.
It's got all the makings of a normal Tarrasque, just small size.
I lose all my damn gold. This damn orb machine.
And he Toast starts playing with the Tarrasque and like tossing it little treats out of the endless treat bag. Who's a good boy? You are.
No.
Oh, he is definitely a good boy.
We're gonna try again.
All right.
72.
No home for you today. Back in you go. Me too. Aha! Now this one is interesting as well. Now pops an animated feather. Now this feather, as it's flying around, it can write whatever the owner wishes in anyone's handwriting if it's treated nicely and is provided ink.
No.
Well.
Whoa. Easy. Sorry, I can't. I'm not there. Never mind.
We're not there.
All right. One more reroll.
Look at the chat.
I wanted a dragon.
Look at the chat.
All right. Are you rerolling?
74.
Oh, I like this one. This one is one of my favorites. This is a worn out living wizard's hat. Now, as you can see, it has a tear in the front and it acts as a mouth for it to speak. It is able to tell the user of obscure events they may have missed that happened to them as they adventure. And he picks up the hat and he puts it on and says, "You are a very useful hat, aren't you?" I don't know if it actually says anything, but it might.
This This hat does have the ability to allow you to re-roll on investigation checks. That's its special talent.
Right.
Just in case. Everything here has a hidden special talent, but some of them are not quite as known. Now, I know that you really want a dragon. I can tell you with absolute certainty that if you wanted to walk out of here with a pseudo dragon, you could still walk out with a pseudo dragon. It is not part of the that arcane check that you have to do. It is actually considered a familiar pet, and familiar pets are, even though they are magical, they are able to be procured quite easily. They are just a lot smaller, and they have their purposes for sure.
I'm gonna look at Moggie. I highly suggest that you put better animals in your little orb machine, because you are going to get a lot of severely disappointed people.
Maybe you should let someone else try, Tatiana. You may just have bad luck. You're a good hat, aren't you, boy? Yes, you are.
I will say there are some very amazing animals in here. Yeah, I know that there's a flying fox. I know that there is a dragon. I know that there is a boggle. I know that there's an owl bear. I know that there is frogs.
You have owl bear.
There's a turtle horse.
There's many. I'll tell you what.
That's all I can say.
Since you've already blown through all 4 of your rolls, if you give me 50 more gold, that will put you at 400 gold total. I will let you roll once more, and if you have decided that you don't want any of those, you will have paid the price of a pseudo dragon. I will let you walk home with a pseudo dragon.
What's this dragon look like?
Pseudo dragon? Well, you have plenty. You choose your color. There's the chromatic pseudo dragons and the metallic pseudo dragons. There's the gem pseudo dragons. We have them all. They get conjured pretty easily.
Easily conjured. Fine, I will reroll one last time. Here's your 50. And if I do not like it, I will pick one of your dragons.
Okay, sounds good to me. I'll let you roll the D100 twice, and you can pick the number you prefer.
And since you did try out the gumball machine, I will, even if you do not like it, I will include one of the accessories free of charge with your pseudo dragon.
I'm curious what numbers you rolled.
98 and 59.
Reroll the 59 because it's pretty much the same as the other one that you have.
Okay.
59 was a little bit cooler than the previous one.
Yeah, but it was a hat. I'm not gonna make you settle on the 98 is definitely a choice.
We're
Putting a hat on a
now.
Yeah, 68. Didn't you already roll 68?
I don't know. It cleared. Only shows me 3.
Okay.
68 has not been rolled yet.
68 has not been rolled. That is, I will tell you, both of these rolls, they are actual animals.
How can you pick which one you think I'd like best? Can I give that decision to you?
You're gonna leave it to me?
Which one do you think I would prefer?
I think no, this is me specifically. I think you will like number 98.
98 it is.
Okay, make sure that I am unmuted here. Yep, good. All right, here we go. Number 98. So it pops out, and out pops a micro dragon. Now this little guy, if he curls up, he can fit in the palm of your hand. And I found him one day in my gold pouch, clutching a single piece of gold, and it won't let go of it. I can't get rid of it. It won't let go. It just has that piece of gold now. That's his special piece of gold. He can produce a small flame, sort of like a prestidigitation spell. But he really loves that piece of gold, so you have to make sure that he doesn't lose it. He gets very upset.
So you have your choice between a pseudo dragon or the mini dragon.
Give me a moment. I'm going to go and ask the friend waiting outside.
There are more friends outside?
Ortega had just walked outside.
Oh, right, he did. Where is Archie? Is he okay?
Hopefully, bud. He's in a bit of trouble right now, bud. But I'm not there.
As far as Tatiana knows, he's fine.
We're fine. It's fine.
I was gambling at the casino and I didn't really have any interest, so I came here.
Oh, well, I hope this weapon that I made for him has been quite useful in keeping him safe.
His loot?
I believe I made him a gun.
And a
loot.
It was the loot. Sorry,
it was the loot.
Was it the loot?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yes. Well, hopefully that has served him well.
Yeah.
Bye for now, Tatiana.
I'll help you right back. Ortega, I have the choice of a mini dragon that'll fit in the palm of my hand, or the other dragon in any color.
Well, the pseudo dragon, I believe, has a stinger on its tail.
That is true.
Mini dragon might be able to sneak into a few more places.
It might. And it seems to like shiny things.
Well, that sounds a lot like you. Whichever one you want. But if you ask me, you gave the man a lot of money to get to the dragon. You might as well take the little dragon. Easier to conceal.
Very true. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll go back in. Do you have a collar that'll fit that thing?
Of course I do. If you are talking about the empathic collar.
That is the only one you told me about.
Yes, but we also have mundane collars as well for accessories.
No, I'm talking about the empathic.
Yes, of course, I do. And because he loves this piece of gold so much, I could work it into it so that it is attached, so that he'll never lose. And that one comes for free.
I'll take the mini dragon.
All right. Okay.
You hear?
And don't forget the treat for Mr.
You hear that, pocket boy? You have a home. And
Matthews wants his treats.
No.
So he presents you with your micro dragon, and he attaches the collar and does some little mystical welding stuff with his finger. And the gold piece is now part of the collar, and he'll make it however you want the collar to look. Color and other things.
My pet has to match my attire, so black.
And as you're saying that, he does some more modifications to it. The color changes.
Let's have Tatiana roll me I think it's a. I'm trying to figure out how many different dragons there are at this point. Roll me a d10. Actually, make it a d12. Roll me a d12. They never get used. Roll me a d12.
All right. 8.
Okay. So, in terms of... So, your dragon color is silver. So, it's a little micro silver dragon, which is good. So, there you are.
You're kind of cute.
He will guard your shinies ferociously. I always find him in the cash register when he is not in the gumball machine. All the time. He's always in there, and have to tell him that he can have his one, but he can't have them all.
So if I lose him, he'll be in my gold pouch.
That would be the first place I would look.
No. Right, shopkeep. Treats and food.
Right, I mean, yes, of course. Now, do you want, since you already have such a good rapport with Toast here, would you want to just take his items off of his hands, the never-ending treat bag? I can provide you with the food, of course. It's dragon food. It's not hard to concoct. It's just you're going to need some space for it. Even though it's tiny, it eats a lot.
Yes, he is a hungry boy. And if Moggie says that it is okay, you can have the endless treat bag as well. As if you may remember, I am not so much good with the gold and silvers and pieces. So it's all based on him.
Sure not.
Let me just pack these up for you. Well, we'll put the collar on him, and he does so. And then, would you like the treat bag to be wrapped or boxed? No? Okay. Well, here you are then. And he hands it to you.
And just fasten it to her belt.
I'll make sure you take good care of Pocket Boy for me, okay? You can change his name, obviously, but that is where I found him. So that is what I have been calling him for right now.
I'll take his name.
Or her, actually. I'm not entirely sure on gender. It could be a her.
I'm assuming the collar will allow me to find that out.
Yes, and as it is on there, and you have made the purchase, you can sort of feel what it's feeling, and you can also send sort of simple ideas and emotions back and forth.
Send everything then. The food.
For the most part, but not so much words. So there could be confusion if you're trying to relay. It might take a little bit of getting used to and some training, but you should be able to get a handle on it fairly quickly. I believe I have tested it on several of our other mongrel members.
Well, I should return to the others and see what sort of trouble they've gotten themselves into.
Well, it has been very nice to see you all. I am glad that you are safe and have been exploring the world. And when you see Arhi, tell him I said hi. And I hope to hear some of his music again sometime. If that is maybe he'll have a performance or something sometime in town. I don't know, but I do miss all of you. I have very fond memories.
Good seeing you, Toast. I will definitely say hi. I will kind of nod my head and walk out.
Thank you for visiting Moggies and Mongrels. Do come again.
Yes, of course. Enjoy your little friend, and I will set you up very nicely with a abundance of food. It's just going to cost you just a tiny bit more, 10 gold pieces, and I will get you a contractual obligation for food similar to the one that brought you here in the first place from Keltheos. Essentially, you come in, or you have someone come in, and for 10 gold pieces, you can take as much food as you need every time.
Food is definitely a must, for the treat bag is definitely treats. Too many, it will be unhealthy, because we don't want him or her to gain too much weight, because then they won't fit in your hand or your pocket anymore. And it wouldn't be like a good weight, I don't think.
She'll give you the 10 gold and grab, I don't know, how much food can I carry?
It's a tough to say. He'd give you enough so that Ortega could carry like your standard 10-pound bag of food.
Okay.
Yeah, not too much as it's little. It doesn't need it all, but it's enough.
But enough to get us through that we're not coming in every day buying food.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Now, is everything then? Or is there anything more that you need to do while you're here?
Well, I have the treats. I'm sure Keltheos will like these treats as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yes, the treat bag is very universal. Whoever you are giving a treat to, it will become a treat for that specific friend.
That's all I need then. I think you've taken enough of my money.
Well, I appreciate it. And like I said, if you're back in town next week, you can always retake the test to see if you've applied for the fairy dragon. But until that time, it was nice doing business with you. Take care of your new friend, and I will miss it dearly. I miss them all. As soon as they walk out, I never see them again.
Oh, Moggie.
My cue to leave.
These are good people. Trust me, they will take care. They will take care of Pocket Boy for sure.
Okay,
for sure.
Okay.
Don't worry. We have many more friends to take care of, and that is our business. And I'm sure that at some point I may just find another Pocket Boy in my pocket, because I have no idea how he got there.
While the shopkeeper's crying, Tati would have snuck out the door.
That's fine. Okay, so I believe that unfortunately concludes our time with Toast for the time being. It's fine. It was lovely to have him hang out for a little bit and reprise his role as Toast.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
It was quite a bit of fun bringing Toast back.
And with that, Tatiana and Ortega head out the door with the familiar dragon kitty roar as they step back out onto the streets of Ank'Harel with their new little dragon friend hanging out.
Y'all done in there, Kathy?
And I have a cute little dragon. Show me.
Are you happy?
Am I ever happy?
Well, I know you wanted the fairy dragon.
Dragon's a dragon, and this one's cute and tiny, so
Can it do any neat tricks?
perhaps steal gold, but we'll find out.
It can make a flame, like prestidigitation.
It can start a fire.
Yeah.
Well, what'd you name it?
I haven't yet. I'll think of something. It has to be perfect.
With you, everything has to be perfect.
Part of the reason you like me, isn't it?
That's why I haven't showed you all of me yet.
Speaking of this morning, you caught me off guard. And
Sort of the intent.
obviously, if you don't know how I feel, then you're a bigger idiot than I thought. There, I said it.
Well then, I guess we best be getting back to the casino. And Ortega's just gonna awkward high school, put his arm around her and like pull her hip to hip to walk down the street.
And we return to the casino.
Okay. Well, you guys do head on off back into the direction of the casino. And it's this point we switch on over and figure out just what exactly is going on with Ari and the potentially slight hiccup he's found himself in. Ari, you are being approached by these guards and they go, "Sir, you're gonna have to come with us. And it would be wise if you didn't cause a scene."
Oh, sir, I'd never really care to cause a scene, but sometimes scenes follow me. Where would you have me go precisely? Have they touched me yet?
Not yet. They're standing there
recommend
like really normal security guards, or like they don't really have any jurisdiction, but like they look like they are enforcers of some sort.
That's cool. That's good to know. It doesn't mean I should screw with them. It just means that they're just okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
You
can tell
please,
they're-
pray tell me where you would prefer to take me. I'm enjoying a lizard race, which has proven to be more erotic than I'd initially anticipated.
We noticed. And we also noticed that little ditty you sang.
But inspired by great beauty, do you not hum a tune?
Not when it makes our lizards win. You see, let's just say that while these are fair tables, certain people of stature have put in time, effort, and extensive training, not to mention a lot of gold, to ensure certain ones win more than others. And for one that has never won before to come out and win with flying colors right after a tune that triggered the weave, he points up to the top rafters there, and you see that there's like little tiny like floating orbs floating around, and they look like they're like security cameras, basically is what they are, but they can detect magical presences.
I start to step back and I look around the room trying to clock where is everybody that I know.
They're right behind you, basically.
I was going to say, I'm
Parrish
betting on
is-
these lizards, too.
Parrish is fairly shoulder to shoulder, not intervening in the situation, but definitely watching.
Okay. And I'd say, I believe you must simply be mistaken. This must be an unfortunate misunderstanding. You see, with the soul of a poet and a great deal of dread and sorrow in my life, I sometimes am inspired simply with expression, no malintent, no anything. There was a flash off of my genius, of my aptitude, of my raw musical aura. I cannot be held legally responsible in a place where a person's sing. Wouldn't you agree? I'm going to try and make a persuasion check if I can.
Go ahead.
Okay, because I can persuade decently. 18. Again, doesn't mean that I necessarily nailed it. It's a 21 overall.
While we certainly agree with you, playing music at a music hall is a very normal thing to do. However, what is not a normal thing to do is to just play a musical tone at the gambling tables. Music played over there would make more sense, wouldn't it? I feel
Inspiration doesn't follow your boundaries and guidelines. Inspiration finds the soul. where it resonates and where it sings. And for me, that's within the race of those long-legged reptilian vixens. One in particular, whose name and number I must obtain.
It's a little...
Would you stand in the way not only of artistic expression, but of love?
It's funny, because the one that wants to see you would definitely agree.
How about you pay the money to the man and we agree to come with you?
Goodness, that sounds fair. Sounds fair to me. Doesn't sound fair to you, Captain.
I mean, I'm sure any slights that have been committed here could possibly be overlooked by, the simple fact that we're friends of the family. And I'd like to minor illusion a little, like, one of the emblems that I've seen the halflings wearing with, like, the little coin on it. And I just kind of want to, like, flash it at the guards, see if that'll grease their palms a bit.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Make a deception check. I'll give you with advantage because you are trying to use the minor illusion.
Yes.
I needed that advantage. One of those was a nat 1. But I got a 17 plus 5 for 22.
Ooh. We might be okay, team. We might be okay. They said one of them wants to see us, though. This is cool.
So, I've never rolled these dice before. These are my chicken dice. I will shit you not. I rolled both of my D20s. Both of them came up as a nat 20.
I love that. I love that.
Like, I've never rolled these dice before, ever. And
oh my god.
Go to the dice tray and a 20 that came. Yes.
I need a drink.
Okay, I'll be right back.
That's not good. Okay, so team, we're in trouble, but only moderately. It seems like someone wants to see us. So
sounds like
I was expecting we get taken to the boss. The boss is a halfling. I speak halfling. And we have a connection with information in the city. Ari agrees to play some shows to make up for any compensation.
Well, I'd prefer not to play for free, but I guess if I'm required to, I'll certainly put on a performance. That's fine. I guess it's fine. I don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
So, it's interesting that you would say that you're friends of the family, and yet you had to produce a very simple illusion to prove that. I'll tell you what, it is not in our pay grade to pay you, but the one that can is the one that you want. That is the one that wants to see you, Ari.
Well, I don't like to keep a suitor waiting.
So long as you promise that none of us will be harmed and we all go together.
Well, I guess that's entirely up to you guys, isn't it?
It is, and it's exactly how it'll happen. These are my friends, and they will come with me. Are you permitted to tell us who has sent you?
No.
I look over to Talus, and I'm just trying to get her vibe and her take off of it. What do you like? I know Talus pretty well. I can probably get what she's feeling from a look or so. Talus, how are you feeling?
I think you would get that from Talus's ploy here. She's not necessarily afraid of moving forward in this space and going with them, but she's just trying to gain an upper hand in some kind of way and maintain a bit of a power dynamic, I guess, which I guess is noteworthy.
Nope. No. We can hold it. So with what Lee said, then I think that we'll probably move. Ari will essentially tip his hat in the direction and encourage them to lead the way.
I need the three of you to make a perception check for me, please.
13 for a 16 overall. Go back.
11 for me.
6.
Okay. So, Ari, based on your earlier, looking around, you realize that these two guards aren't necessarily dressed 100% the same as the other guards.
Yeah.
It's something that you like their outfits. It's not as if they're they don't look like they're, ruffians weapons or anything like that. Like they look like they're established. Like they look like they definitely belong in the casino as guards. But you've seen like people at the front door and people wandering around. You get the idea that these are either they're like a higher class of guard, or they aren't specifically guards for the casino, but for certain people. So
I was going to say, they're either like plain clothes secret guards or worse.
or they're worse. So one motions you forward as he starts walking, and the other one follows behind, and they lead you past a certain area of doors that seem to be blocked off to the general public. You head down the stairs, rounding the corner behind the tellers, and you see a bunch of halflings busily doing all their work that they're doing. And after about a 2-minute walk down a hallway, you start ascending up, and you go up a huge flight of stairs till you get to this luxurious opening that overlooks the entire casino. It looks like it's about 3-4 stories high from the casino floor.
Oh my.
Very luxurious. You see then it branches off to other private rooms. You see like elven dancers coming out, going in. You see food being brought in. Everyone has their own little private area. And you come to one, and it looks, interestingly enough, as the two guards stand side by side at this elegant satin pull-away drapery, and they pull out and they motion for you to go in. And as you go inside, it's this darkened room lit only with candles. You see one halfling standing astutely with a glasswares filled with champagne or wine, something, and you walk past and you round the corner. And as you're rounding the corner, Ari, you hear a familiar voice, and it says, "Well, since when did the doorman become the bard, Ari?"
Do I know exactly who that is?
Yes, you do.
And like, is that the old band leader?
As you walk forward more, you see this elderly, rugged man with a perfect, like, chiseled cut beard, rocking this very nice troubadour-styled cowboy hat.
Oh my god,
a trench coat, and lining the trench coat, you see pistol after pistol after pistol after pistol. You see in the back there's a sword and shield with 2 rapiers lining it. You see he's very well protected. And Ari, you recognize this man as Shaman's Paul.
Oh my god.
He looks at you and he goes, "You think that I wouldn't have noticed some of our songs and how you would tell them? You think you could come in here betting on Lil Miss Crispy? Think you could take away from my winnings, my own lizards? You should have known I had spotted you the moment you walked in that door."
Can't believe I didn't smell you first.
I guess
It's been a long time.
Guess when you think each other's dead, smell don't matter much, does it?
I guess not. How are you still breathing?
Let's just say death doesn't find me easy, does it?
Yeah, that was the gimmick, eh?
When you went away, or rather, when you betrayed us and you left poor Lafayette to dead, we was done with you too.
Not how it happened.
Well,
now you've made a view for yourself, and I can't believe you brought us up here just for salt and bullet wounds you made. So before I start drawing, why don't you tell my friends and I why you brought us up here exactly? You wanted me dead. Never would have made it up those stairs. But these are good people. I won't drag anyone else into your
let's just say
crossfire.
Let's just say this. Alright. You familiar with the underworld of Ank'Harel?
Getting there.
You're gonna find that the underworld finds you first. if it wants you. Now, you just so happen to go lollygagging, gallivanting right on into it. Now, the ways I see it is, you can leave this town, I'll grant you that. You can go back to whatever cowardice hole you crawled out of with you and your posse. You can go back to moaning and groaning over Lafayette and maybe the others that you've lost.
Or he's just you could hear him trying not to bomb his guns. Yeah, Ari's seething.
Or you can help us out a little bit and potentially help us seek stories that others fear to know. You see, all those many moons ago when that house went wrong, let's just say what I thought went wrong went very right for me. I made some extra connections. I made quite a name for myself. I've worked my way up, crawled. Shit, I've had to beg at times. But the one thing I'd never did was regret letting you go. Because you just would have slowed us down and you would have gotten in the way. You were nothing more than a doorman. You never will be. But you can make a name for yourself here in Ank'Harel, and you can...
Not your doorman.
Hold up for a second.
Yeah.
Would it be considered a surprise round if Parrish punched him in the face?
You are not anywhere near close to him. He's pretty far away.
30 feet?
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Love it.
Cool. Yeah, fuck it. Can they stop me?
There are two armed guards pretty much right next to you. So they opened up the drapery, and then there's two more behind him. He's sitting at the desk, and you can't tell if there's others around just from where your view is, because there's like an indentation on the wall. So you only see in. So there's two guards right beside you. It's surprise round. Like, they're definitely not going to be able to do anything. You can get to him.
I haven't moved yet.
I wonder if he'd respect it. Is looking. I don't know. Shaman's Paul's a motherfucker. Okay, Lee, it's your call.
I think I swallow the most aggressive part of myself and find a new ability. I'm going to make a telepathic bond with Ari as a bonus action and tell him in no uncertain terms, Ari, this man is very wrong about you, and I want to punch him in the face really badly. If you draw, we go. I can be there in a second. But is this something
Can I reply back?
You can.
Can I reply back? Great. So can I reply back, though?
Yep. Here, I'll just post the ability.
Then I would say back in my head, not yet. He said he had to beg, and I didn't get to see it yet. I'm going to make this guy beg for his life.
One way or another, we're walking out of here.
Yes, we are.
I'd prefer it with our heads held high. No, one way or another, we're walking out of here with our heads held high.
Ari smiles, which I'm sure confuses. Sorry, we say his first name again once more. Is it Shaman's Paul or Simon's Paul or
Shaman? SHAMANS.
Yeah. Shaman's Paul, yeah. And you just kind of see some smiling, and he says, "Never be your doorman again, but I am new in town. If there's one thing you taught me, it's how to capitalize on an opportunity, no matter what. So we do find ourselves in a different position, because you see those around me. You've seen a little bit of what I'm capable of, and despite your misgivings, we're a capable crew. We are new here, and we are looking for coin, protection, and opportunity. You seem to have done well for yourself, despite being a talentless hack might be a bit much, but I feel like giving you compliments. Why don't you tell me about the kind of opportunities you might have available for us? Why don't you do it with a bit better manners? You might be strapped to the hilt, but I really hate you. So why don't we just call it a truce?
You're the one calling me a useless hack, and yet you're the dumb shit that walked in here. You're asking for money. You're asking for protection.
I look over at Parrish.
I'll tell you what. Since you asked so kindly, I'll tell you.
Hold on a second. We didn't ask for money. We didn't ask for protection. You wanted to talk to him as soon as he stepped in this building and found an opportunity when he played a nice song. The one thing I've noticed that piqued an interest was telling stories that others are afraid to tell. Keep going on that, and maybe we'll finish this conversation. But I really would take his advice. Stop speaking down to us.
I'm part of an organization that aligns itself with the consortium. You'll come to know the consortium either which way you align. However, there are people in my organization that believe that there is a sunken city underneath this glorious town. People have said that it is some grand ancient wonder. But it's not. It's just a prison. And the stories that apparently come from that prison are the ones that people are afraid to tell. Now, what we like to do is make sure that nobody gets down there. We keep it sealed at all times, or at least we try to. We have to deal with the legions of Allsight and all of their band of merry men. We got to deal with the Cobalt Soul. The Cobalt Soul wants things that we do not want. Very recently, we sent one of our own, or the consortium at least, sent one of their own to Bazzoxan, looking for some magical wonder. Pretty crazy how right after she comes back, not long after, guess who comes strolling into town? Now, I'm gonna go on my best bet, and I'm gonna assume that you all have absolutely nothing to do with her returnal.
Of course not. You brilliant as always.
So, I'm here to offer you a deal in that any information that you get regarding the sunken city, I believe it's called Kale Moro, any information you get about anybody who might be looking to go wandering down there, you just go on and tell me, and we'll make sure that, yeah, maybe they are allowed down, maybe they aren't, probably not, but that's not up for us to decide. Tell you what, I'll let you take your winnings fair and square as square can be in this situation, and I'll give you this. And he hands you a tiny bullet, and the bullet has SP written on it. It said, if I recall correctly, when we gave each other bullets, it meant that we weren't going to kill each other. I see the
You
bullet.
remember correctly.
See the bullet on that girl there's neck? I see yours, so I know that you still follow our routines and traditions. I'm gonna give you my bullet. You can pull that trigger right now, and you can hand me right now, right here. Or we can have ourselves a deal. We can make a heck of a lot of money, just like old times. And you get to keep on doing your barden as good as you think you can do.
Parrish says into Ari's head, "Do you want this?
I want to keep my options open.
Do you want a better deal?"
I'm off center. I can explain why later. If you can secure a better deal, I'm here for it, and I will close the deal.
There's a voice in my head telling me, pull the trigger. So, I mean, that's still an option, I guess. Parrish will
There's
take...
a voice in my head telling me to pull the trigger too.
Parrish will take one big step forward into the room.
Okay.
Do the guards go to stop him?
You see that they kind of like pull, they kind of pull their hands aside, revealing they're very well equipped to handle.
Yeah. He'll say over his shoulder, "Go ahead. Point a gun at me if it makes you feel better." And take another step into the room. And he'll keep doing that until someone like fully draws on him or he gets to the desk.
You see that these people are looking at Shaman's Paul to see what to do, and he just puts his fingers up. Says, "All right, now I've got a good look at you. What the fuck do you want?"
Honestly, very much not to be here, but we find ourselves in the situations that we're in. You said we had a lot of money to make, but as far as I can tell, your deal is the winnings that my friend fairly won on your unfair tables, as your guard let us know, and promise of not much else. Clearly, you want us for something. Maybe it's your history, maybe it's because you think we're expendable, but I think it's fair to say we could walk out of here. Yeah, sure. Maybe you try and shoot us, maybe we shoot back. Or you could just offer us something a little more enticing than a promise to get to play his songs. You don't really get a say in that.
That's where you're mistaken. You see, anything that he knows is because I taught him. He'll tell you all about me as soon as you guys leave here, and he'll understand, and you'll understand just exactly what it means to be encroaching on your mentor's territory. Now, you're not from around here, seeing as you're one of them elf folk and all. I like your style. You would have fit in very nice back in the day. In fact, you look oddly familiar. Hey, Ari, doesn't he look a little bit like Lafayette? Anyways,
Then Ari, at this point, pulls out his gun. Pulls out his gun and points it directly at Shaman's Paul, and he says, "Say his name again and the deal's off, along with your head from your shoulders."
You're not gonna shoot me, Ari, and you know that.
Alice is gonna draw her gun. Maybe not, but I might.
Only 2? Come on, you should know better than this, Ari. You don't bring 2 guns to a shootout.
Brings out his second.
Now, I thought we were having a conversation, not a shootout. Unsurprising that you have yourself so well armed. I can't imagine with your personality many conversations go well. Ari, my honest opinion, this is small potatoes, a bad deal, and a has-been. And I'll just fully turn away. If you want to take him up on a shitty offer, that's your business, but I can't say the rest of the party would want to follow.
Like I said, Ari, all you have to do is play a little game, be a little student of whispers. You just come tell me all I need to know. I'll see to it you get paid I'll see to it you get paid what you're due. I'm offering it here now, and this is your last call. You're either walking out of here with a deal or no deal. There will be no shootout. You can try, but there will be no shootout.
So unfortunately, Ari knows that if he starts this, he's probably going to die, and he's going to kill Parrish and Talon. He knows that well enough. So he will lower one of his guns and pop up the other and push out the chamber where a single bullet drops into Ari's hand, and he holds it close, closes the chamber of his revolver and puts it back into its holster, and he holds out the bullet to Shaman's Paul. Don't make me take this back. Oh, did you hear, Ben? Oh, no, never mind, sorry. Anyway, so Ari hands him a bullet.
He will.
And he says, "For the tradition, not for you."
And he points to the bullet he gave you and he goes, "And not for you." Now.
Ari feels sick to his stomach.
And he motions over and he pulls out of a drawer and he gets a coin purse. He plops it on the table. He says, "You don't need to count it fair as fair. These are your dues, and I threw in a little extra just because I've missed you so much. Now kindly show yourselves to the door, and I will be in touch."
That soon, or I'll see your posters around town.
You will
and Ari will grab
of me in this town.
You really have moved on. He grabs the bag of gold, and it weighs so much more in his hand than the weight of gold. There's a lot of shame in that bag. And he takes it, and he leaves very afraid.
You guys, is Talus leaving with you?
Yeah, I just kind of make an exit. I kind of signal for them to come along, assuming that they are cool with that.
Okay. As you guys proceed outwards, you head down those stairs, and they seem to take just longer. You get down and you head through that hall. It takes longer. You head up through the tellers, and you head back out onto the floor, quiet, afraid, and you see Ortega and Tatiana waiting for you at the table they left you at. Tatiana has a dragon.
Admittedly, I don't know if I would have brought the little gold-seeking dragon into the casino. So
it might
maybe
have potentially already exhausted. I might have already exhausted what potential leniency we had in this particular establishment. And he just looks up shamefully at Talus and Parrish. And to be honest, he just walks into the casino and walks away. He's nearby, like if someone needs to talk or wants to talk or whatever, but he kind of just stands away.
Parrish can still talk in Ari's head for 3 miles, and I think he'll just say, "Is it okay for me to drop in?"
Always, yeah. Nobody in here otherwise.
Well,
I'm busy.
Yeah, I can't say having constant company in your head's any better, but...
What's your experience with that like right now?
Honestly, it was probably the same as you. A lot of take your gun out and kill them all.
Not a great thing to be listening to, friends, in my experience.
No, That's fair. And I didn't want to kill everyone. Well, part of me did, but...
No, most of me did, honestly. Like a solid 92% was saying a waste of ball.
Look, regardless of what our choice is, I really wanted us to walk out there with heads held high. Maybe we take the deal, maybe we don't.
I don't think it's the last time we walk out of there. I plan on taking that bullet back into my hands.
Whatever happens, I really hope that before we leave that room, one of us punches him right in the nose. Look, I've been in a situation where someone decided all of what I was, said they were all the best parts of me, put me on my path. You can choose to be more than that, and I am very confident you already have.
Long road of many steps, a lot of tunes to learn along the way, but I do appreciate the company. Now, it's been a big day and I need to drink, or at least get some sense of movement and something different in my mind.
What do you want us to tell?
Promise.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm not part of this conversation.
What do you want me to tell the rest of the group?
Hear a thing. Never mind. Ignore me.
Tell them the truth. Tired of lying to people I care about. Then tell them to come drink.
Connection's not going to last too much longer. Find a good spot. We'll pick whatever place has the best music and find you there.
Thank you, Barrett. And Ari goes to find a place with good music.
Just about 2 blocks down the street from the casino, kind of close-ish to Moggie's and Mongrels, but a block away. You find, as you're walking through, listening, you hear some lutist playing a full band, actually. You hear a full band playing, enjoying music, and you see people in there dancing and drinks to be had and kegs being tapped and the murmurs and regular ongoings of just a simple bar with no gambling and
that seems as good a place as any.
And no people from our past.
Ari will find himself a spot where the music is loud and the beer is close, and that is where he will spend his time.
Doesn't take much time for the rest of the crew to find you. They all sit down, pints are handed out, and that's where we're going to end it tonight. As the night deepens over Ank'Harel, our weary heroes find solace in a modest inn, a rare moment of peace amidst the chaos. With a new little pet dragon bringing a touch of warmth and joy, they finally allow themselves a brief respite. Yet even in this calm, the shadow of Ari's past looms large, casting a veil of unease over the group. What secrets will come to light, and how will our heroes confront the ghosts of Ari's history? Thank you to Dragonheart Dice for their amazing support, MABMusic for the atmospheric ambience, and of course, all of you listeners for joining us on this journey. Until next time, I've been your host and Dungeon Master Kyle, and may your dice always roll true.